Hey there, I'm Sky. Welcome to Void Chats. Void Chats is a thing I do where I just talk about a certain topic for a few minutes while there's gameplay in the background. Today I want to talk about focus, energy, and projects because I feel like that's relevant. You see, I have been working on separate projects over the last few months, and most of them haven't made that much progress, or not enough progress to really that I feel comfortable showing. Um, Aside from this YouTube channel and my Twitch channel that I'm probably going to delete soon, more on that later. I I have a book. I have a book that I'm writing. It's not going to get published or anything, but I'm just trying to finish a novel before I start college. Um, I try to think of all the projects I have. My mind just goes blank. So I have a book. I also have been trying to make a video game, but I've made like 0.01% progress on that, so that's not going to happen anytime soon. I've been like doing a lot of research, trying to learn a bunch of new shit. And yeah, I just, nothing concrete, but I've just been trying to do a bunch of different things because focus is kind of all over the place. Like, I'll have weeks where I wrote like 13K words in one week, and I haven't touched the book since. I kind of work by like slowly chipping away at things, like I'll write like a excerpt here and there, and I'll, learn a little bit of code here and there, and I'll draw a reference or two, but I can't really maintain that with any one project. I don't know why, but it's not really a thing I can do. Well, I know why with art, because when I draw for too long, my wrist hurts. Well, actually, my wrist hurts randomly all the time, but if I draw, it hurts more, so it's like iffy on when and how often I should draw. Like when I did the digital art improvement week challenge thing, where I streamed 5 days and I drew 7 days in a row digitally. I took like a bit of a break from like art in general, but also mostly digital art, because I still did like a few things, but I wasn't drawing like at that pace, and I probably won't for a while. Side note, not really related to this, but I feel like I went about the digital art improvement week all wrong, so I should probably make a video about that. Oh well. So projects. My projects all over the place. Nothing concrete. I get distracted quite easily. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, like on one hand, it's like, oh, disorganized, flighty, non-committal with projects. On the other hand, multi-passionate, can juggle a few projects. But I don't know. Now on to focus. So, ironically enough, in my first recording of this, I was playing Overwatch 2 while recording, which I have a hard time. It takes me a minute to express my thoughts, and while you're also trying to do a different thing at the same time, it gets a little confusing. But I feel like sometimes I have to like draw or like fidget with something because it helps me focus a little bit. So it's a hard balance to strike. But yeah, focus is a funny thing. Like I said, I'll have weeks, right, or a week where I can just like focus on one thing and then like do that. But after that, I don't touch the thing for a while. And I don't know if that's like difficulty pacing myself or just how my attention span works. But, that's how it rolls. And energy. Energy is the main thing you need to complete projects and run a YouTube channel and stream and write a book. But I have a very limited amount of that in a day, and sometimes I have a really hard time functioning. So yeah, like I felt really like sick like in August, and there was like a week where I barely ate anything, barely got out of bed, and I was just I just wasn't really doing much because I couldn't. But that happens fairly often. Like, there's some days like today where I slept like shit, so I got up and I tried to clean, and then now I'm working on this. But most days it's like I wake up kind of late in the day, because even if I do go to sleep at a semi-normal time, the sleep quality is so shit that I try to sleep longer, but that doesn't really do anything. And then I just kind of trudge through most days. Like I'm always tired pretty much. And it's not fun, Like I've been trying to take melatonin recently, but even if I go to sleep, the sleep quality is shit. So it kind of makes me just not want to sleep. Yeah. I don't know if I've stated it in other videos, but I have a chronic pain condition. So upon being tired all the time and sometimes feeling super weak, I'm also in pain all day, every day. Loads of fun. Makes it even harder to sleep. So it's just, I'm not like I feel like most of our lives are pretty cyclical. Like we go through the same shit over and over again, even if it looks slightly different. You know what I mean? For me, I'm in this cycle where I can't sleep that well, or even if I do sleep that well, I still feel bad. And then I'll like do a bunch of work for a week, and then I'll feel super sick, so I don't work for several weeks, or I don't do that much work for several weeks, and then, sleep like shit, feel like shit, eat like shit, feel like shit all the time. And I can't really win. So it's hard to have energy when, I have a hard time eating sometimes. I have a hard time sleeping all the time. And then, people are like, oh, exercise. And it's like, have you tried exercising when you feel so tired that like every movement feels like exertion? No, then shut the fuck up. Sorry, that was very specific there. But even exercising doesn't help me. It doesn't make me feel energetic. Maybe I'll feel like semi-okay for a little bit, but like once I've taken the shower and then like anything, I just feel like shit again, So it's like, I have no energy and I don't know what to do about that. There's not much I can do about that. I just gotta live with it, because yeah. But that's the thing. So for me, my vicious cycle is have an idea, work on it for a week, forget about it for a few months, work on it again, and then I just keep doing that for a while until I completely forget about it. Pretty much. I kind of have to have projects that are shortish, like I remember like two falls ago, I started like learning how to like build terrain and stuff. So I would like make these houses and like castles and shit. Well, I didn't make a whole castle, but I made like a little tower. And that was really fun. And those projects only took like, a few hours a day for like a week. And that was fun. And then like I remember, then the next year I had one that took me several months to finish. Not because it was super time consuming, but I have plenty of time. But it was because it just kind of sat in my room for a while and I didn't work on it. And I don't know why. I mean, I think I've probably been sick for a while, Like, I was diagnosed with my condition a few months ago, but it's been a problem for well over a year. And I feel like it's probably been more than a year, and I just didn't notice at first, because, when it's only a little pain, you can kind of, like, shrug it off, or it gets dismissed as depression. And then you kind of, deal with that for a while. And then there's a point where it's like, okay, this shit still hurts, and I'm not feeling any better. This is a problem. Now, I went to the doctor around this time, honestly, like a year ago, and he's like, I don't know what's wrong, but you have anemia and you're deficient in several vitamins. So, you take the iron, take the vitamins, wonder why you aren't feeling better, And then, so I was going to school the entire time I was sick. Like, oof, I don't know how I dealt with that shit, because I might as well open up a little bit. I'm already doing that. So when I was going to school, like from like August to pretty much January, my chest hurt really bad almost all day, every day, especially at school. Had stomach pains a lot. I felt so nauseous that I could only really manage to eat like one meal per day. So I would go to school, not drinking anything, not eating anything, and I'd have to, do all the school shit. And then I would go home, I would, feed my cat, and then I would try to do any chores, and then that was pretty much most of my energy for the day. And then I would probably played video games, because video games are the least draining hobby I have, because I play on Xbox, so I'll use a controller, and then all I have to do is move my hands, and like, that's it. So that works. But content creation, writing, drawing, very draining. Very draining. Yeah. So I remember I was focusing on YouTube, because I was like, okay, I need to focus on something. So I don't want to, we'll just leave it there. So I focused on YouTube, and I remember frustrated at myself in December. I'm like, okay, I'm focusing on YouTube. I'm thinking about YouTube all the time, but I'm not making YouTube videos. So what's up with that? And I mean, it's hard to make videos when you don't feel like making videos, because you don't want to pretend, you don't want to be fake about like your enthusiasm or anything, because it's noticeable. Microphones are surprisingly good at catching emotions and like paper sounds for some reason. But yeah, so I'm like, okay, YouTube challenge. Let's see if this is actually something I'm gonna fucking do during my gap year, so I can figure out whether or not I'm gonna keep trying to do it through college. And so far, I haven't gotten to the bare minimum, which is 13 videos. But I've definitely made, well, I guess if you count live streams, I definitely bypassed that. But if we just count like fully edited videos, I haven't reached that goal. But I've made so many videos, and most of them don't get uploaded because of, audio problems. Maybe the video just kind of sucked. Sometimes I have issues with recording, and those are the worst, because it's like, you record the entire video, you're like, oh, okay, this went well, and then you look at the video and it's like, oh, this looks like shit, and it froze in the middle, and then I can't use it. So yeah. So I don't think it's necessarily a lack of focus that keeps me from uploading YouTube videos. I don't think it's a lack of effort or a lack of discipline. I think just sometimes it just doesn't fucking work. And then I give up for a while because it's hard. And then I'm like, try to get back into it. And I'm like, what kind of videos do I make? And I'm like, either the videos that my friends or I have are either out of my skill range, not that appealing to me to record, or just I try to record and it doesn't fucking work. So it's like, where do you find how the fuck? Like, the beta video, that video, I had a different idea for that video, or similar to that video. I was going to do Amber versus all the Mondstadt bosses, right? And I recorded the video, and I started editing the video, and the fucking video fucked up. It was a live stream too, but the audio was shit, and now it's like not usable. So it's like, the fuck do I do? So if you want to be technical about it, I have completed the YouTube challenge, but I don't know if I want to count it or not. I also haven't made any YouTube shorts, which will be pretty easy to do, I think. I don't really like making short videos. Like, well, that short of videos with gaming, because it's like, it's a video game, and I really don't have that interesting of commentary that would be amusing for a short. But I don't know. And I'm just worried because, okay, let's see, I'm like halfway through my gap year. What's months? Over halfway gap year. And I don't really have that much to show for it, I feel like. I have a book that's half written. A YouTube channel that I would not want to show to anyone. And yeah, it's just not ideal, I guess. I'm like, well, maybe I should try a new approach. But here's the thing. I have been trying new approaches. And I run into the same problems. And I try to work around those problems. But there's, even if I could, like, mentally be like, okay, I can keep working on this, I also have to worry about my fucking energy levels because, I have to take care of my cat, and I have to keep my house clean, and I have to try to maintain my fucking flesh prison. It's just, I don't know what to do. Because I think I have the focus when I need it, and I have discipline, but there's only so much discipline you can have when your body is literally a fucking prison. So, just like, I don't know what to do. So, that's it for this Void chat. Also, I should probably add that for the Twitch challenge, I don't think I'm going to be able to complete that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Twitch is really it for me, and yeah, I don't, whatever.